Hi, my name's Bruce Steward. I'm a technical service manager with FMC, and I cover Oklahoma and Kansas.
And I'm Jared Miller, FSR for West Central Kansas. Bruce, hey, so it's March, early season. Farmers are, asking about what kind of, herbicides they should be, putting on. We're kind of noticing wheat's greening up, out there in the countryside. If we think about our tech talks from, previous, you and the Justice had a really good video on Top Guard 5-on-5. So, we talk about what the, benefits flutriafol brings. But hey, so FMC's got something new. You want to, talk about that just a little bit here?
Yeah, we do. We've got Adastrio Fungicide, and it's a three-way mode of action fungicide. It contains flutriafol, the same active that's in Top Guard. But also it's got azoxystrobin, which brings a lot of plant health and even disease spectrum as well. And then also really what's important is that fluindapyr in that it's an SDHI chemistry and really brings some significant rust control, also just other disease spectrum as well. So really this Adastrio product is a very broad spectrum, three mode of action. And what we're looking for and to utilize in wheat is Adastrio 3.5 fluid ounces followed by 3.5 fluid ounces at the flag. So 3.5 ounces at green up, 3.5 ounces at flag. And we've just seen some really excellent control at the university setting. We've had some trials the last couple of years showing about a 25 bushel increase over the untreated check. Yeah. And then even over the Top Guard 5-on-5 program, it's been doing very well too.
So Bruce, that was a pretty popular program. Been around the last 4 or 5 years, had some tremendous success. 5 ounces. Talk about maybe why Adastrio is 3.5 at green up.
Okay, that's really a good point. So we selected that 3.5 fluid ounces because the amount of flutriafol in 3.5 ounces equals the 5 ounces in Top Guard. So it's really bringing a lot to the green up application as well as the flag leaf. When you look at green up application, we're probably dealing with powdery mildew, septoria, tan spot was always a really tough one, stagnospora, powdery mildew. So really broadens that whole spectrum out.
Absolutely, and kind of what I think is super exciting is FMC's come out with something new that people don't talk about a whole lot. Fluindapyr is brand new. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what differentiates that product just a little bit more, brings a little bit more of that broad spectrum like Bruce was discussing here, but return on investment. Mm-hmm. I think we need to talk about that just a little more here.
Well, I think you're right. In Kansas, there was a survey done, probably about 7 or 8 years ago that showed that only 4% of the farmers in Kansas.
That's kind of staggering.
Yeah, that use a green up and a flag leaf application. Right. And I think there's just a lot of yield that's being lost by these farmers in Kansas. So hopefully, this could be something that could be with the green up application, just put Adastrio in there, and then you need to come back in with that 3.5 at flag.
Absolutely. And I think FMC has kind of lowered that barrier of entry on price point to make it pretty competitive. I think it's something that, if we haven't even looked at, this is a product that we need to, discuss. Top Guard has been great forever, but it's kind of exciting to see something new in the wheat acre, and, really, really looking forward to seeing what that does for us here this year. Good
points, Jared. So, hey, we just wish you guys the best on getting the most out of your wheat crop, and we feel like Adastrio 3.5 followed by 3.5 can get you there.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks.